Why, hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku Showboat, joined by Dolly. Yes, joined by Dolly today. Today is Thursday, March 2nd, 2023. We have reached March. It's here already. I am surprised. It is now meteorological spring as of yesterday. Oh, boy, and it's starting to feel like it. It is starting to feel like it around here. Spring is springing. Insects are coming out already. So, how are things? It's been, a couple of days. It's been 2 days. Yes, it has. What do I want to start with, today? Right here at the beginning. Well, as I've said a few times at the beginning here, I do play Genshin Impact, and I do have something to say about that. But I want to start with a thing that I've been thinking about with the stream itself. I want to make sure that we start with like the actual real important thing that I've been thinking about. I have been considering a way to reward engagement with the particular streams. So, my thought was, if we get at least $10 of support through any means in a given stream, I will stream an extra hour. How does that sound? We'll just tack on an hour to the stream once we get or exceed 10. That sound okay to folks? I think that's going to be a thing that that we do going forward to try to encourage some longer streams for what I think to be a fair amount of support to do so, considering that I only see 70% of that has to be through YouTube. That's the other thing. Will necessarily have to be through YouTube to like keep track of it, but yeah, just a way to encourage new memberships, encourage membership gifting, encourage super chats, and all that good stuff. Will have to be during the stream. Will apply each stream separately. Counters will reset with each new stream, and only 1 hour, one time. Okay, that's no streaming to infinity. At least not at this point. Is what I'm thinking. So that will be a thing going forward. I'll have to figure out a way to like announce this, I guess, as we go forward. But yeah, just to just reiterate, the equivalent of $10 of support collective total during the stream. Before the end of the stream, I'll stream an extra hour. Okay, that sound good for folks? In what denomination? USD, of course. My stream backend will tell me the revenue in USD, even if some other currency is used. YouTube does the conversion for my backend. I can see what that is, what comes in. The moment that number, quote unquote, chat revenue equals 10, if it's before the end of the stream, I'll stream an extra hour. And we'll do that every stream going forward. I reserve the right to increase this if it gets annoying. But yeah, that's gonna probably be a thing as a reward for support. We'll go an extra hour. And yeah, it should help. It should help with a number of other things, because support counts as a interaction, audience interaction, which means that videos get pushed more on search results on YouTube. So that should help. It should literally help more people come and find the videos over time, as long as folks engage. Of course, it is completely optional. And it is like totaled. Not any one person will need to do it. So yeah, just a thing. If you would like to see an extra hour of any given stream, that's how you can make it happen. If you really want to make it happen, you can make it happen now. So with that said, that's like the big announcement out of the way. Yeah, Genshin Impact. I've been playing it a lot over time. This morning, I finally hit the maximum adventure rank level of level 60, which, oh my god, that takes months and months to go from 59 to 60. It's months to go from 58 to 59, and months to go from even 56 to 57, and 57 to 58. It's a huge increase to that experience curve there. It's a big step, a big blah 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 blah. What is it? A soft cap starts at 56. But yeah, 60 max. What do I get for hitting max level? 3 wishes on the standard banner. Enough Primo Gems for not even 1 wish. And going forward, all of my adventure rank experience that I accrue will be converted into money at a rate of 1 to 10. So I get like 24,000 gold a day, which is meaningless when it takes millions to get a character built up in that game. So yeah, it's a thing. It's just another mild milestone. It doesn't really change too awfully much. But hey, I did it. I did that thing. So, Factorio. I've done some stuff in Factorio. We don't have the other kitty here right now. Let us discuss. What did we do last time? Last time I set up self-assembly monolayer material in the base, which was basically the last thing I needed to set up in order to get into advanced locomotives. I have this factory here, right here. It's making some SAM. It is glorious, and it will function whenever I get deliveries of like HCl. I think that's the limit on this right now, is just getting hydrogen chloride in to the system. I have everything else. Everything else is moving very smoothly. It's just the hydrogen chloride is a little limited. I will need to scale that up at some point. But, as I said, that was the last thing I needed to get into advanced locomotives. Realistically speaking, this meant that I had to make a few extra pieces for them. In particular, the gear boxes and the brakes and the shafts, Mark II variants of these things. For the brakes, I needed to bring into my mall Bakelite and Aramid. Don't think I needed to bring in cellulose, but I needed those two things. So I went to my Circuit 2 build, scaled up the Bakelite a bit, and threw it onto the train network. And then, yeah, just had to put in a request for my Aramid, and that was the brakes. For the gearboxes, I needed Nexlit antimony alloy. This is quite literally Nexlit plate and antimony oxide. So I just placed a building. I just placed a smelter and started making it at the mall. And that was gearboxes. For the other thing, this guy, control panels, I just needed to get quartz ore. So I brought quartz ore in. And then for the shafts, I had to make the shafts in their own separate factory. I've made shafts separately, Mark II shafts, and the reason for that is because the Mark II shafts require a few annoying things, if I can remember where I've built this. Where did I build my Mark II shafts? Here, let's search shaft Mark II. It's here, right down here. Shaft Mark II requires shaft Mark I, but it requires molten stainless steel and hot air. Yeah, brakes require cellulose, which is, you know, interesting. But yeah. That they do. I guess it's their lubrication, maybe? I don't know. But, yeah. So the shafts require molten stainless steel, meaning I had to go to my stainless steel and get the molten put onto the train network. That was about it, really. I mean, yeah, it was just bring in stuff that I already have. It does require a lot of this alloy, this special alloy. Whatever the heck it is, iron, antimony, niobium, Nexlit, I forget which one. It's a special alloy that I hate a lot. This guy right here, iron Nexlit antimony special alloy. This stuff is needed in such huge volumes, and it is such an awful ratio on all of the inputs that, yeah, I'm gonna have to, like, make a separate factory. I will have to make a factory just for this, and I will need to more than double my Nexlit plate production. I will need to increase my gasoline production, and I will need to, you know, increase my antimony production, and probably also the iron production for all that. So it's a huge round of scaling to really provide enough of this stuff for all of these things. But yeah, alien life stuff very confusing to you. Well, hopefully when you watch my videos, it shouldn't be as confusing anymore as I do the things. I do have I don't know how well I explain the alien life stuff in my tutorial videos, but I do have tutorial videos about the stuffs. I did recently make a video where I've explained sort of what's changed between before Pi Alternative Energy and now. with power alternative energy, the whole change to you need cubs, you make cubs in reproductive complexes mostly, and you raise cubs to get adults, etc., etc., and those are your modules. Modules go into the buildings, makes the buildings move, etc., 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 all that good stuff. Well, that was what I needed to do to get into the advanced locomotives. So I now have a few advanced locomotives, and they are better than regular locomotives. A fair bit better, too. They go about 20 kilometers an hour faster. There was a few complaints about cobalt extracts. What methods did I use to make these? To make cobalt extract, like actual cobalt extract at this phase of the game? I can go find it. So, in here with cobalt extract, initially was doing it the hard way with urea-based cyanic. But when I've scaled this out, it looks like I'm actually not providing enough stuff for this. Yeah, I need some more meat. What I've ended up doing was making cyanic out of meat, and realistically speaking, I can add a blood-based urea here, but essentially it's atomizing for the cyanic. That's the issue on cobalt extract, is simply getting cyanic at enough scale to support the scale of cobalt extract that we need at this point in the game, prior to having access to the abiotic ammonia and then ammonia to cyanic recipes, which both unlock at like production science for whatever reason, or Pi Science 3. Pi Science 3. Yeah. Ultimately, I will be doing this recipe for cyanic coal, methane, ammonia into cyanic plus hydrogen. And I will be doing nitrogen, hydrogen, chromium into ammonia, ultimately, and making infinite ammonia out of that. It will be a fluid that I will have thousands upon thousands upon thousands of units per second available at any given time for any given purpose, without having to spend any amounts of urea whatsoever once I get to this tech. It's just a shame that it was moved from Chem Science to a Pi Science 3. It's just a shame that it's here and not Chem, because it's blocked by Integrated Circuits 2. For whatever reason, these two recipes are here. I wish they weren't. It's not like they're required for anything in this technology. They're just here for the sake of it, to be timed later. But anyway, so the trains. The trains are better. They move faster. They have bigger numbers for their acceleration power, which means that they can also brake faster, as well as accelerate faster. They weigh less overall, and the wagons, while individually equivalent in terms of the amount of storage of each individual wagon compared to a vanilla wagon, they're half the size. So, yeah. I've been putting 4 wagons on my locomotives to form my trains. And I've been slowly but surely replacing every single one of my trains with these advanced locomotives. They are fantastic. They are a huge improvement over what I previously had on the vanilla trains. They do, how I will note, they do sort of fall, as expected, in between a vanilla locomotive and a Nextlet-powered locomotive. They are not as good as I would expect as the Nextlet-powered locomotives, and they really feel like a halfway point. They actually do feel fine. I will say that the UI is a little weird because they have 5 fuel slots with 5 dump slots, trash slots for the spent fuel. They run off of gas canisters. They also apparently run off of rocket fuel. So I've had to set up like some gas canister stuff. Every single one of my current fuel stations has already been set up to bring in syngas for syngas canisters. Shouldn't you be like requesting more syngas? I guess you're like right on the edge on the next request, aren't you? Yeah. If you use one more unit, you'll request more. I will need to add some more trains to move syngas around because, yeah, this is going to be a bit of a thing, isn't it? My concern by switching everything to these types of trains. Hello, welcome. My concern by switching everything to the advanced locomotives with this kind of a system where we have to take out the empty canisters and load in filled canisters is I am very concerned about deadlocking, about having too many canisters in the station. I am extremely concerned by this, but I'll figure it out if there's an issue. So we do not need to do any changes for the new wagons. No changes required to any of the train stops with the new wagons. They just work in place. I have had to make no adjustments. The only adjustment I needed to make was to my fuel stops so I could give them fuel. The different type of fuel, and that's it. That's all. They work natively now with bulk rail loaders. There was an update a while ago to the bulk rail loaders. They work fine. They actually load these things faster than regular wagons somehow. And yeah, even the fluid ones work fine. Even the fluids work fine with the long storage tanks mod that I use. Yeah, 4 of them for 1 for each wagon. It just works. With the standard layout. With the exact positioning that I have with this particular blueprint, it didn't need any changes whatsoever. I was so happy. I was so happy with that. So I've changed about... How many have I changed so far? At least 100. I'm pretty sure I've done at least 100, maybe 150 or so trains to the new ones. There's still a lot of old trains around. I have over 400 trains to change. I currently have 453 on the train network. I've trimmed a couple that I didn't necessarily need. And I will be trimming a few more. But yeah, it's a lot of trains. Yeah, I know they look ugly, but they do the job for these long storage tanks. I like them. I don't think that they hold enough fluid, but it's fine. It's more convenient this way. Yeah. So, that being said, what I have done is I have changed all of the trains on the coke lines, the coal lines. So all the raw coal in the base, I'm pretty sure I did both of the main areas supplying raw coal. They all run off these advanced locomotives now, and as you can tell here, this is the primary station. I now have sufficient throughput to provide raw coal to the entire base. and they're sitting and waiting. Previously, I needed 2 areas mining raw coal because it was so much to move around, so much throughput needed. Bearing in mind that the stacked items holds the same volume in each train as being unstacked, there's not any real difference there. The difference is that it's fewer items to literally move in and out of these wagons, so it improves the time to load and unload the trains by using stacked items. But when you need hundreds of items per second of throughput across the base, literal hundreds, if not thousands, on raw coal in particular, it was really hammering the ability of the vanilla trains. So it's nice to see that I don't really need as many of these advanced trains to maintain the same thing. I did improve the mining here, by the way, because as it turns out, when I upgraded all of these trains, they were able to move the raw coal faster than I was mining it. I was actually able to move it more than I was mining for the first time ever. So I increased the mining to like red belt throughput mostly, not all of it. Not all of these lines are full red line throughput, but it's enough to keep this guy filled while supplying both of these stations. And we seem to have a little bit of a blip on the connection there. We seem to be experiencing slightly lower bitrate right now. Bitrate's chugging a little bit. There's actually another meeting that my mother's having right now as well. So we've got a couple of things that need upload, but theoretically the internet should be able to handle both of these. Can we see how much raw coal I'm using per second? I can tell you how much. I can show you like the consumption rate. Consumption rate of raw coal is 35,000 per minute. 35,000 per minute on the raw coal. So that's like 583 items per second is being consumed of raw coal. What kind of a CPU do I have? I have a Ryzen, whatever, 5800X. I have a 5800X. Yeah, Ryzen 7 5800X 8-core CPU. Not the 3D V-Cache version. Not the 3D V-Cache version, the regular version. And I have it clocked at 4.5 gigahertz. Constant 4.5 gigahertz is what I have it set to. And I have 32 gigs of regular memory, of which we're using 17. Well, you know, AMD has just released their 3D V-Cache versions of their latest processors, the 7000 series. Just so's you know. So they do have those. They exist. Anyway, we're going to continue today by trying to get into the nuclear samples as best we can. That will be the last item necessary for making chemical science packs. I will note that I will not immediately make them, or if I do immediately make them, I will not be immediately processing them because I want to set up the VatBrain biocomputing before I start processing them. I have been joined by Ollie. I have an ollie. Hello. Hello, big boy. Yes. Hello. How's that ollie? But yeah, this game, very much CPU dependent, but very much single thread performance dependent. Cat? Don't you mean cats? Plural? We've got two here. I've totally got the one that's behind my head, that's been behind my head the whole time. Now we've also got Ollie, so we've got both of the kitties. We've got both of them. They're both here. So, in order to make these, I'm going to need to make particle accelerators. I cannot make particle accelerators until I have electric engine units. So, we need to make electric engine units today. First thing that is required of us. Yet another thing that is going to require iron, next lead, antimony special alloy. Yay! So, the VatBrain cartridges are used in the VatBrain biocomputer. It is essentially a beacon now. And it does not necessarily double production. These Mark 1 canisters will increase it by 25%. 25% productivity per beacon around a lab. That's the key phrasing. It's per beacon around the lab, and I can make these now that I have Sam. So we're gonna make them now that I have Sam. Glorious self-assembly monolayer material. That was the last thing that was needed. So ta-da, we've got the thing. We've got the stuff. If I had neuroprocessors, I could do the aerial outposts, but the aerial outpost usefulness will be 100% dependent upon the actual speed of the aerial transport vehicles, quote unquote. If they are significantly slower than the trains, then they are not worth using, even if they go in a straight line. Anyway, stuff. Factory. We must build a factory, and this factory needs quite a few ingredients. So we'll do this up here. Close that. Hello, Ollie. You are licking your sister. You are grooming your sister. Yeah, babies. So this thing moves a bit faster. The max speed is 281 kilometers per hour. It hits 280.8 on a straight line, not carrying anything. The weight of the vehicle is like fairly small. What is again 1600 versus 2000, I think, on the regular locomotive. Yeah, regular locomotive is 2000, so it's 400 difference on weight. And then the advanced cargo wagons, they weigh 600, and the advanced fluid wagons weigh 5. Cargo wagons are 1,000, though, and fluid wagons are 1,000. So with the cargo wagons, if you replace them 1 to 2, it actually weighs more than the vanilla cargo wagon. 2 of these advanced cargo wagons weigh more, 200 more. But you've reduced your advanced locomotive weight by 400 total. So it ends up weighing the same with regular cargo wagons, and you get a slight reduction. You get that weight of the locomotive reduction, 400 on fluid trains. So really not much benefit to the weight for the acceleration values. It really comes down to the fact that the locomotive is just higher acceleration power. Which is really nice. It is very, very nice. They do accelerate very quickly. and thus decelerate very quickly as well. So the throughput is much better. And I will use these as my trains for the next long while. The next upgrade will be Nextlet-powered locomotives, and they will run off of Nextlet batteries. Batteries that will recharge using particle accelerators. So I will have to append that to every single one of my fuel stops. Alright, what do we have for our train station here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 inputs that are solids. We're at 9, 10, 11, 12. Should be 12, yes. And then 2 fluids. Alright, build the thing, kill the ore patch, both of these. Alrighty then. That sounds like a plan. What is this notification from Distant Worlds 2? What are you announcing? The Aurora update is released for Distant Worlds 2. Woohoo. Not as if that all of the content of that has been in testing for like literal months at this point and has been available to basically everyone for a while. I haven't even touched Distant Worlds 2 in a while. I should try it again. They've made a lot of changes since the last time I've tried it out. Well, your logistics science is gonna come first before C2. C2 is most definitely after Logi. Heck, it's after Pi Science 2. It is a thing that you make before getting into chemical science, which is where we're at here right now. Okay, what am I doing first here? Need 9 of these. I need to decide, am I going to... Why do you erase the ores? Because they're in my way. They make my vision... They like get in the way of my vision, so they shall not exist. I can't clearly see what I've built, and I'm not going to build around the ores, so they will be deleted every time. So as I was saying, I have to make this decision, like, now. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be using red belts for the rest of eternity at this point. It's just the hotbar... it's an issue. I probably should have kept those yellows around. I'm still going to keep them, but I think I'm just not going to be using them as my primary thing. I need them for copy pasting, and I most definitely do not need to use reds for these insert things here. I'll need them for the I don't need them for the output from this particular machine, but, you know, keeping everything consistent means being lazy. just so as we're clear, all of these should be yellow. All of these should be yellow. None of this top section needs to be red. But I'm thinking that I'm beyond caring anymore about it. And we need to unstack. And that'll be that for those. So I don't need to worry about any stacking on the actual copper cables. That will be enough copper cables. This stupid thing. So the reason why the red belts could improve UPS, because that's actually true, red belts can improve UPS, but it would require replacing all of my yellow belt with half the amount of red, and I would need to use the underground belts. I would need to make judicious use of the red underground belts over distance, because that is fewer entities overall. If you replace all of your straight belt with underground belts. Okay, this needs like 2, 3 inputs. Oh boy. Oh, we're using reds. Probably should have just copied this from somewhere else, but whatever. And there's no real good reason for me to do this here local, when I do have plans to make it separate. I'll just delete this, I guess, when I do make it separate, if I remember to. If I'm not feeling very particularly lazy, which I always feel particularly lazy with this. Let's put you there. Gosh, we're almost at 600 hours. Oh boy, next stream I will be over 600, pretty sure, because I will be continuing to replace locomotives between streams. Next, you. 2 of these. No productivity? Aw. Well, that blows. This takes in ash. I guess I'm gonna unstack the ash here. Oh boy, we need bolts. Not on this step, but we do need them. I'll make these here. This one's a 2 into 1. That should do it. Power and output. That is that for you. This does not take productivity modules. Next, I'll do the shafts. 17. All right, there's 17. Three inputs again, so same as before. Don't I still have that? Yes. What is the throughput? Tiny. Okay. Tiny throughput. Ah, yes, belt. Run that belt down, and that belt over, and this belt down. And power. Ta-da! Stupid shafts. Oh, so stupid, these shafts. What? Okay. This reduces entity count. I should do the same below. And on every single one of the builds. Ta-da! Yeah, I should do it up here, but I'm not gonna waste that much time with it. It does improve performance, though, by building in that way. Or at least it's not as detrimental to performance by doing it this way. It would be more of an impact if I did it to everything across the whole base. But, you know, since I know that I'm going to have to rebuild anyway later, I am not going to do so now. Since, you know, when beacons become a thing, that will necessitate basically an entire rebuild of the entire base. So, yeah, why do a rebuild now when I know I'm going to need to do a rebuild later? Anyhoozle. Stators. Stators, welcome. Welcome to my satisfactory playthrough. We are building stators on this day, and rotors on this day. Yeah, I'm gonna want to, like, use loaders. At least these are productive. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure these things were added to electric engine units specifically because Satisfactory exists. That makes much more sense. That makes much more sense to do it that way. That way we've got both on the on the same belt line. Ah, without having to merge later. And then it's just 5 of these. Making the electric engine units. We bring in 2 fresh items from the bus. I do need the aluminium for another step above. So we've got 1, 2, 3 belts of input and a belt of output. Oops. Alright, that should work. It's also quite convenient for placing power poles by using these underground belts. Okay, now we just need to run the rest of the logistics. We'll put that there because that's obvious. We've got... I guess I'll work my way from the other end. I have to bring up the oil and the gas. So that'll be the gas, that'll be the fish oil. Gas and fish oil. Gasoline. Fish oil. I'll need to scale this a little bit. Even if I do have full buffers at the moment, I will need more. Also, the downside of upgrading a lot of my trains happens to be that in doing so, I sort of grab everything that's in the existing train and it gets thrown into my inventory, meaning that the factory turns on for every factory that I replace the advanced locomotive. It turns on for a little while, and in doing so, it increases the power draw of my base. I had this number hit pretty, like, 29 already, like around 30 gigawatts. And I was like, oh boy, I literally just had upgraded my power over here. It's like, oh boy, do I now need to do a full-on copy-paste of the entire square to add more power? Do I really need to do this? Pretty sure I will need to do this, but I don't actually have all of the buildings to do it. And I definitely don't have enough stored molten salt to do it either. I'm currently full up. I've got 3 of these 90k tanks and the storage tank here for another 80k. And I have made like 4. I've tapped all of the local salt mines for this, so it makes a whole of 40 per second when operating. 40 entire units of molten salt per second. Isn't that just glorious? Ah, okay. Copper's our first line. You see that first requires getting into blue. And our problem is that this is not blue yet. And we need this power before blues. Alright, copper is in. This top, I guess, will be next lit. Or the antimony oxide eyes. I don't care. Doesn't really matter. We need next lit, we have iron, and we have antimony oxide. I'm pretty sure I need the iron or something else as well. So maybe the iron should be on its own. Yeah, the iron should be on its own. These are gonna unstack local, because I won't need these. And iron will come over here, it'll split, one goes up. And the other goes down. No, so what's going to happen at this next tech level is that I'm going to get Mark II stuff, and then that will double my output. In fact, the Mark II stuff sort of can happen really, really, really soon. Yeah, it could happen, like, really shortly. I need to make next lit batteries. I need to be able to make the Mark II mechanical parts, which is going to require getting into next lit batteries. But yeah, my most immediate course of action once I set this stuff up is getting into the Mark II versions of the turbines, coal power plants, and heat exchangers. Do you need to unstack iron? I do here. I don't here, because I already have that unstacking set. Alright, where does the bolts go? Very end. Okay. Interesting. I guess that'll merge up with aluminium. Any Hoozle. Ash is next. Bring me my ash. I have lots. I have infinity ash. Oh, yeah, so the one problem of these, with these locomotives that I have with them, the biggest issue that I have with them, is the sound that they make when they come to a complete stop. They have this horrific high-pitched squeal every single time they come to a stop. It is like scratching nails across a blackboard level of annoying. It truly is that bad. Small parts and solder error. Bitrate. Bitrate, come on. You can do it. You were fine on Tuesday. What's the problem now? Why is this a Thursday thing? That bitrate just dies. There's nothing I can do about it. Absolutely none. So small parts and solder are next. Request small parts at EEUs. Request solder at EEUs. Small parts. Solder. Yeah, they come. Okay. Bitrate's still not ideal, but it's improving-ish. Next, we have what? We need to bring in an ingredient for you. That is the duralumin. I don't remember if my duralumin is stacked. Dura? I do not remember. Are you stacked? You are stacked. By the way, all of my locomotives for moving plates have been upgraded at this point. So every single plate train has been upgraded, enhanced. They are fantastic, fantabulous, advanced locomotives now. Okay. Next, we need the copper cables, plastic, and aluminium. Okay, since I need the aluminium in 2 different locations, I will do plastic first. Plastic is not stacked. Aluminium is stacked. I don't need that much of it, so I will unstack here. The copper cables will come out and come down. Better. So plastic and aluminium. Let's get plastic. And aluminium. There we go. Doo-doo-doo. Baby boy. Baby dolly. What is next? We have 2 more inputs. I need to get the aluminium down. I need the circuits and the advanced small parts. The aluminium will group up with the not the shafts. It will group up with bolts. Hello, welcome. We are building our electric engine units today. Alright, now circuits plus advanced small parts. I forget if I've stacked the advanced small parts. Pretty sure I've stacked the circuits. Okay, there we go. Circuits, basic circuits, simple circuits, excuse me, and advanced small parts. I'm pretty sure these are stacked. I'm pretty certain. Alright, well, that's that. So now just get this brought out and brought up. Of course I'm running a line there. The ollie has left me, oh noes. The kitty. The boy has left, the girl's still here. Yeah, bro. At least the dolly's still here. Still behind my head. You can barely see her, because she's in the shadow, but is fine. Supply electric engine units. Depot electric engine units. Locomotive. This is the one downside of these. The second downside of these. I have identified at least 2 downsides of these particular advanced locomotives. In systems with low inherent throughput, like 1 per second, I now have to carry at least 4 stacks or manually set the limit on the manifest. The full cargo circuit condition. Like, I can't set full cargo on some things, but how long? Like 400 seconds is like close to 7 minutes. Item, not fluid, item count of is there like an any? God dang it. I wish there was an any I could assign in here for this. Would that just be like in general circuit condition? Could I give it like anything. If anything meets the it doesn't have the each. It needs each. I want each. The yellow asterisk, which is just a any content. I want any contents. Like I don't want to have to just pick a specific thingy here. Anyway, we'll do that, and it will function for every 2 minutes of production if we're producing at max rate. All right, that should be that. Just waiting on advanced small parts. It's delivering to the mall first, somehow. For whatever reason. Delivering to the mall first. Hey, you know what would be great is, if you could actually take me there. Yeah, so how much... Oh, you're full. Okay. Okay, I understand now. Go. Drain that buffer. Drain it. Completely. Go and drain. And deliver me deliver the things where they're needed. Because I can't really progress until I actually have electric engine units. Since they are required to get the particle accelerators that I will need in order to make nuclear samples. This factory needs like 3 of them. Yeah, we need 3 particle accelerators to do this. Fortunately, nuclear samples just operate, and you don't need to actually use the energy that they produce. So anytime you need a spent nuclear fuel result, as is the case here, yeah, you're not forced to have to use the power that it makes. 23 megajoules is like nothing, so I'm not going to bother with it. That seems like a terrible idea. Yeah, should just need those electric engine units. Let me check if I'm missing anything else other than the electric engine units on this particle accelerator. Let me find up there. Bots are going to want to bring me infinite things. So you, yeah, it's just the electric engine unit that I need for you. Fortunately. But what I wanted to point out here again is that I've got these guys can get made if I have essentially parts that are required for getting into the mechanical parts. This eats utility boxes and control boxes, and I don't have either of those. We are making the shafts and the gearboxes and the brakes. For whatever reason, this needs brakes. Okay. But yeah, one of these two between the control panel and the utility box needs, like, Nexalit batteries. There's a few other things that we don't have quite yet that we could make. Why, hello, Red Belt. Hello, bots. Thanks for the belts. I need to get over this way though, so follow me if you can. I need to go all the way out here. So the mechanical parts, I'll need to bring in heavy oil. I will need to bring in rayon. Now that we have rayon, I will have shafts and gearboxes. Yeah, the big thing with these is the electronics. Mark II. Electronics Mark II, that's the problem. Yeah, those utility boxes and control panel. The control panel requires Nexalit batteries and EVA. And the utility box... Where's the utility box? Did I even set the utility box? Maybe not. I may not have. Utility box. Mark II. Is it not made in one of these buildings? Oh, joy. That explains it. Mark II utility box is made in electronics factories. Yay. Glorious. We can just make that though. That can just get made. I just need a good spot for it, probably up here next to the electronic ones. And that can just happen naturally. Pretty sure, yeah, I have control box ones, or utility box ones, whatever. Yeah, problem is just getting electronic twos. Yeah, that's a big issue. Electronic twos, the Nexalit batteries, and the other stuff. What do I need for the Nexalit batteries again? So to make the Nexalit batteries, Anthra, ugh, erg, arg, Anthra, olefins, stuff that I have, but blech, just blech. And then the big thing is that electronics Mark II, and then EVA. EVA's the easiest-ish part. Yeah, EVA needs vinyl acetate. As well as ethylene. Yay. Vinyl acetate needs fatty acids. We've made fatty acids already, right? Pretty sure. Out of oleochems. Oleo. Oh god, that's a lot of lard. That's a lot of lard. Just to even make trace amounts of stuff. For reference, this being like one of the newest items added into the game with Pi Alternative Energy, it is beyond imbalanced. Shall we make this perfectly clear that like the whole line of mechanical parts, electronics, all this stuff, these intermediates that have been added in high alternative energy, they are beyond imbalanced at the moment. They use way too much stuff. Overall, it's rather insane. I mean, technically, the volume of parts going into mechanical parts is fine. The final step is fine in terms of volume to volume ratio. What's not fine is that even to make this much stuff requires just way too much. Way too much to actually make even this trace amount of those individual parts. Especially the electronic twos. Like, oh my god, these electronic twos. Like, what in the world were they thinking? Requiring 50 MOSFETs per electronics Mark II. Like, no. Nah. Nah, nah, nah. Nah, 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 nah. So we need to bring electric engine units to the mall. That's sort of why I'm here. Are you free? Yes. Whoops. I wanted to copy. And that should be that. Where did we just build this? Here. Alright, are you moving yet? Have you made... No, it hasn't. It has. Dang it! They were not stacked. Wonderful. So I have to go back. I have to go back and I have to clean the belt. Because those advanced small parts, I ended up stacking them rather than unstacking them. Just freaking wonderful. It's at this point that I really wish that these belt boxes were separated into stackers and unstackers. I really wish that these were two separate entities between stackers and unstackers. That was like the dumbest, it is the dumbest possible thing that they can do both. Because it leads to situations like this. This exact thing. Where you then have to have this potential point of failure by simply just not remembering whether or not you've stacked a thing. This escalated quickly. Yeah. It's escalated a little fast, hasn't it? Our frame rate's a little low, but we're getting there. We're getting there. We're almost to the chemical science. We'll be setting up our nuclear samples shortly. I just need to fix these electric engine units, and then after 2 minutes of production, at its full rate of production, I should have enough, ideally, to make some particle accelerators. I'll probably work on the build and just use ghost entities for the particle accelerators until I actually physically have them. So definitely by the end of today's stream, I should have the nuclear samples at bare minimum. Yeah, so we need to clean this lane of these stacked advanced small parts. Yeah, it's a shame. But hey, it's a red belt, so this will go fairly quickly. I hope. I'm just going to keep an eye on this section up here. See when we change from stacked to unstacked, so I know about when to stop. And we should see the inserters grabbing things too when that happens. There it goes. There's the transition. Next, these inserters should start moving. There we go. They're grabbing. And that is that. Ta-da. We need to run... we need to run the pipe. I completely forgot about this pipe. Right. There you go. Right. You know, it would help if these actually had inserters for the ash. That would be great. Yes. Yes, enjoy. Enjoy the lube. That makes 20 entire lubricant. Good thing I don't need anywhere near that. Alright, I need close to that, but whatever. Is fine. Is good. We okay. We are okay. We are making electric engine units productively. Productively, very important. I will note, now that we have our first electric engine units, and it is beginning to move, that there is a recipe for lab instruments, or a part of the lab instrument process, that can use electric engine units to double the lab instrument output. Due to the nature of electric engine units now, compared to pre-high alternative energy, they are not worth it to spend on lab instruments. I have made this decision. I will not do that lab instrument recipe. There's no way you can make me do it. I will not. Specifically because this recipe is not productive. Nor are small parts productive, nor is rubber productive, nor are electric engine units productive, nor are optical sets productive, I'm pretty sure. What is productive is equipment chassis. That's productive. Now, yeah, you have the amount of these that you need to go into the lab instruments, but I really just don't see how in the world half an electric engine unit can possibly be worth half a special alloy. When how much do we need to even make that half engine unit? Oh yeah, you need more. You need like 0.63. You need 0.63 special alloy with productivity to make half an electric engine unit per second. So when you switch over to the quote-unquote improved lab instrument recipe, you're actually spending more special alloy overall. You're spending more special alloy than previously. So then what's the point of this recipe existing if not to save on this special alloy? I have nothing. I can't think of any reason. It is strictly worse to do this than to do it without the electric engine units, the basic recipe. Just, I don't get it. I don't get it. I would get it, maybe, if you are casting equipment chassis and not spending the special alloy. If you do not need the special alloy for the equipment chassis, well, again, why spend electric engine units? I just repeating this, because by that point, it's really easy to get simple circuits. Like, you don't need to worry about the throughput of the simple circuits. I guess it's rubber? I guess it's rubber. and the work to get the rubber. That would be why you would do that. But you're going through all of the effort to make the electric engine unit just to save half your rubber going into this on a recipe that's not productive versus a recipe that is productive. Like the recipe without the electric engine unit you can use productivity modules on this, and you can't on the other one. Like, what? Now, I know with vanilla modules, at most you're getting you get this plus 30. But guess what? At Mark IV, you get 4 module slots. And with the vanilla module strength, you're going to have more than 50%, but it's not going to double, right? It's not going to, is it? It is going to double, isn't it? 4 module slots, that's 120%, right? If it is this scaling with regular vanilla modules. Because this number is not what it should be for Bob's. This is like overridden. I think that with regular vanilla modules, that this strength is what's been adjusted for Pyandons. Yeah, 4 of these is 120%, which means you'll actually get more output from the basic recipe at Mark IV buildings with 4 level 3 vanilla productivity modules than you would with a separate recipe that uses electric engine units that gives you, like, quote-unquote double the output. Okay. The fix, quote-unquote the fix for that, clearly, is that this recipe needs to accept productivity modules. Like, that's a big first step, is this recipe needs to take productivity modules. But also, it's too much on the electric engine units. It's too much electric engine units on here for the cost. It's way too much. It's at least 2x what it should be, if not more. What is it in terms of the actual numbers? So the actual number is that it's 1 into 4. So it's already using only, quote-unquote, only 1. And it's making 4. It's still too expensive on the special alloy overall. That is my alarm to indicate that I am halfway through today's stream. I don't think we've gotten our first delivery of the electric engine units yet. So I'm going to... Oh, it's... Speak of the devil! It's just happened. And it's coming to the mall now. So we will have our thingies here built relatively shortly. I don't know how many electric engine units we need per one of those buildings, and I will need 3 of them. But I think for now, I am going to take a brief break, and when I come back, we will start work on the nuclear sample build. After which, I guess I just build the research factory for the chem science? I don't know if I'm, like, ready for that, but I could just do it. But I wanted to do the vat brain stuff for it, to process with the vat brain stuff, but I have to, like, consider, is it really worth that time spent going out of my way to do that versus just having chemical science and having the technologies that I need from chemical science? Anyway, we'll do that calculation soon. I will be back in just a few minutes. And I have returned. Welcome back. Just making it. I have to say, this cord here that I'm using for my headphones is a different cord from the one that I was using previously. This is a cord that came with these headphones that has a it's the coiled kind. It's like the old telephone cord wires, because the cable I was using broke on me. These headphones have a locking mechanism. You twist and it locks, so it doesn't pull out. The downside of them not pulling out is that anytime the cord gets pulled, it pulls the headphones off your head. But it also can damage the cord quite a bit. There is something to be said about having it not be locked so that it just pulls out if the cord gets tugged. But anyway, the cord got damaged. I lost sound on one of the headphones. I lost the right side because of it. And yeah, unfortunately, that was my long cord, and I needed a longer cord. I can't seem to find the shorter one that I know that I have somewhere. I guess the cats hid it from me. I guess the cats took it away and hid it from me. But yeah, that just left the other telephone wire cord, and it's tensioned. It's tensioned because it's it wants to scrunch, which sucks. I guess I'm not going to run it over with the wheels on this chair because it's raised up from that tension, but still, it's a slight pain. It's annoying. And the unfortunate part is that it's $30 to get an official replacement. And unfortunately, the third-party ones that don't cost $30 are most definitely lower quality. I would much rather buy quality once than buy cheap multiple times. So the electric engine units are here. They are arriving. Hello, electric engine units. Welcome to the mall. The few of them that exist. What can I use them for outside of the thing? Who else needs them? Stack inserters use them. Oh, I can build stack inserters if I place down a smelter to make this special alloy. I could have stack inserters. I don't need them. I could have them. I could have megadars. Immediately, I can just build this now if I really wanted to. I don't, but I could. The problem with megadars is that they do not fit in between my rail segments. They are too big for my rails. Like they're a 5x5 entity, something like that. I only have 4 spaces between my rails. They're like 1 tile too big. So I have to use regular radars in these, and I'm not going to put them next to the rails. No, that's not happening. What else is here? There's the Vought Mark II uses them, and a bunch of other stuff I don't quite have yet. Nacelles. The particle accelerators, of course, they use 20 each, so it looks like I will have enough. And that's it for what I have now. Aerial outposts, oh well. Not interested. Workodials. Oh, they must carry jackhammers. Okay, I get it. That the icon is a jackhammer. So they need the electric engine unit for the piece of equipment that they're carrying around. Ah, boy, but that doesn't come until stage 3, nextlet processing for the workodials. I don't know about changing out of the Digosaurs though. I like my little diggers here, the dinosaurs. They are doing their job. Oh yeah, that would explain why I don't have any meat. Yeah, that would explain why I don't have meat for the cobalt extract. It's all going into Nextlit ore for Nextlit plates that I apparently need more of than I currently have. Oh joy. So we've made 2, and we are working on the 3rd. If my bots could bring me more of the electric engine units, that would be great, considering I know I've brought more than 20, and this is the only thing requesting them. There should be more of them. There are none in local storage, so something else exists requesting electric engine units actively. It's you. I didn't want to actually request the things for you. And it would make them. Oh boy, that's the other thing, is that it would actually make them. So please don't do this thing. I do not want to make those. Alright, we've got our 3 particle accelerators. God, I hope I have the power. Is it possible to have good UPS in Pure Pandon's endgame? No. Short answer, no. Yeah, so 30-ish, below 40 UPS, before the middle of the game is how I'll word it. I wouldn't word it at 600 hours. I would word it as not in the end of the game. My lights just flickered. I hope I don't lose power for no good reason. That would suck. Where do I want to build this? It flickered again. I hear Ollie. Ollie's meowing. Ollie meowing. Where's Ollie? Do I have a powerful PC? I think so. I have a Ryzen 7 5800X. It is not the most powerful CPU on the planet, but it is still pretty powerful for what it is. It is running at... I have it clocked to 4.5 gigahertz. Since that is the most stable for me currently. I also have 32 gigabytes of memory running at, I think, 3200 megahertz, which is also not particularly fast, but it's okay. I have a GTX 1080 Ti graphics card, but that does not matter for this game. And I will soon have a 4070 Ti graphics card replacing this one. It has not shipped yet. I ordered that multiple days ago. Multiple days ago I ordered that thing, and it is not shipped yet. Still, it will arrive at some point. Ideally, by next stream, I should have it installed. Just as an FYI, I should have it by next stream. Unless it is further delayed. But anyway. Yes, I would classify my computer as powerful. And this is the performance that I get. At this point in the game. And yes, it is 100% a PyAndon's thing. Just inherent to the way that PyAndon's mods has been designed. It is a fundamental design issue of PyAndon's mods. PyAndon's is... it does more than what the game can handle. The game is not good enough for Pyandons to exist for it, frankly. It pushes it too far beyond its limits. Anyway, we has Ollie. Hi, welcome back. Welcome back, Kitty. With other Kitty here. Hello, Ollie. Really close to the camera. But yes, he's here. He hath arrived. He hath arrived. He needs to get his pets. We need to get the pets of the kitty. Yeah. Hello, Ollie. Hey, biter. Biter. He's a biter. Where's the power? There's the power. Okay, this thing. That's a few inputs. Huh? That is a few inputs. Ignore water. Oh, I don't have dust. Ah. Crap. I don't have dust. I don't have dust on the network. I have unsigned iron level processing of iron, which means I do have iron dust. I just need to put it onto the train network. So, by the way, this is with Bob's modules. I want to make it clear, performance is what it is right now with Bob's modules. Because at this point in the game, the way that the tech tree is currently implemented, I only have access to level 1 modules. Level 1 modules. If not melon, cough, cough, cough. If Pyandons mods didn't screw around with the techs for Bob's modules like they currently do, I could probably have access to level 2 modules. Or I could at least have a lot of the modules unlocked, even though I couldn't make them until I had circuit 3s. So I could have gotten at least one more level at this point, but we are tech locked for a while before being able to upgrade these modules. So I'm just looking over the requirements here. I can ignore the steam. I can pull the steam off. And that's it. Hello, Ave. Oh yeah, it's vacuum. I can break that down in here and we can have a much better idea of how big this particular factory needs to be. Okay, so 18, 19, 20, 21. Alright. This train station will be huge. Therefore, I am going to build it not first. I'm going to do this piecemeal. Yeah, I think that'll be the best course of action on this specific factory. I am carrying nuclear reactors, by the way. I have some. Do I need solid fuel for voiding? I have technically an excess. I have biomass happening. I have biomass as a byproduct that I would hope would be enough. You know what? I have a whole bunch of stuff I need to void. So you know what? Yeah, I probably need to do a +1. Oh, I'm bringing in wood. Hold up. I have logs. Logs are part of this. I will have a solid fuel. As much as I don't like spending logs as a fuel, I will have them. I don't need to bring in a train separate. I probably will still bring a train in separate, but oh well. I also need to like detour to get iron dust on the train network. I should probably do that first. So let me actually not start with this and start with that other thing. I think we'll start with making the soda ash, step 1, and the industrial solvent, step 2. Because fluids are easier to work with. It uses 1 solid input with ash, which technically I could make locally, but nah, whatever. Iron, molten iron. Here, iron. Add a supply station. And change that to D iron dust. Yeah, and I will take this iron dust, excess iron dust, and throw it onto a train. Because this factory processes 75 iron ore into unslimed iron and into molten iron from unslimed. What I would prefer doing, what I will do between streams, is I am going to make a copy of this build up to iron dust, and throw just iron dust onto the train network in a separate factory with probably local mining. I'll do it next to an iron patch somewhere, and that way I will have the iron dust provided. How much is made? How much is made? 18 is made in total from 75 iron ore, and that is the exact ratio it is going to be the entire game. 75 into 18, and I will probably need multiple of those factories. I will very likely need multiple of those factories. These trains hold like a gigawatt or a gigajoule total of power, by the way. Which is nice. Which is nice. They only use 900 at a time, right? 900 kilowatts at a time. Not even a full megawatt. Alright. Supply iron dust. Locomotive. I'm gonna check if I can stack it. If I can, I will. That is not a line I can draw. This is the line I can draw. Down we go. Okay, split, priority right, split, priority right, merge, 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 merge. She's left me. And we absolutely can stack this. Alright, well, let's head on up. And this is going to take a while. 18 over 5. You know what, I don't need to really do that math. I need to know the stack size. 18. 20 times 100 times 4 divided by 18, 444, 7.4 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna cut that down. And there we go. Just have to define this priority. Iron ore dust. Ta-da. Okay, let's get to it. Let's get back and actually build this factory now that I have that one thing that was notably missing. Head on back. Still takes a little bit of time to do this traveling, remembering that the game is literally running at half the speed it's supposed to. Yeah, because the whole game slows down when we're under 60 frames. Really wish it was that the game was better optimized to handle its logic. It is not making use of the full system resources. Not one bit. Not one bit. CPU is running at half, less than half. It's like 43%. No one core is maxed. That's the weird, freaky part. The super odd thing is that it's not even using a single core at max. It is a multi-threaded game. The threads are mostly even on their utilization. It's just that if that's the case, why isn't it using more of the power of the CPU? Like what is it waiting on? Because it's waiting for something to happen. That's why the frame rate is down, because there's something that it's waiting on in the process. Some key step is taking too long to calculate. Our bit rate. No. So the cats left because some packages arrived. Yeah, I think the cats are gonna have some fun with the packages. They wanna get into the packing material. I'm going to start with this soda ash regen solution. I'm actually going to rotate. Do I want to rotate? God, this building sucks. I hate this building. I really, really hate this building. And that is a lot of ash each. How much ash am I using here? It's supposed to be 3.45. Oh, and I need 1. Why did I build 2 when I need 1? I was not paying attention, clearly. No attention was paid. I'll replace this with underground belts. Hello. Hello, hello. I am currently beginning the work for nuclear samples. We are bringing in ash. I will need to bring in the saline. And then the next step will require syngas and organic solvent, and I hope I have the organic solvent available. So what do we got? We've got request saline at nuclear samples. Request syngas at nuclear samples, and request organic solvent at nuclear samples. Saline. Oh god, no saline. Syngas. And organic solvent. Ta-da. Oh god, no. There. Yes, saline. You need to remove some rail tiles. Where? I need more rails. I need lots of rails. I need infinite rails. You can't figure out how you're supposed to place bulk rail loaders on the rails? You do not place bulk rail loaders directly on rails. That's what you're missing. Bulk rail loaders must be placed freehand, and they must align with the rail grid. They cannot be placed. Oh yeah, that yeah. Yeah, you need to remove the actual rail tiles that the loaders and unloaders sit on, because they are rails, basically. They act as rails. And as for getting the exact placement, it is basically just guess. It is basically just guess. For my general purposes, the way that I tend to do it, there is a single straight rail segment that should exist between the two. And that gives the alignment. Or you could just go onto my Discord server and pull the blueprint that I have available for the requester stations or first stations, or just, you know, grab a train station. I use the exact same thing every single time. All right, saline. No saline. Ugh. None. 3 things producing saline, and I don't have any. What's the difference between iron and niobium? Niobium pipes have a much greater underground distance than the regular iron pipe for the undergrounds. Otherwise, there is no difference between straight segment iron versus straight segment niobium outside of how they look. These are destructible, but the next level up, the multi-purpose pipes, have an even larger distance between pipe to grounds, and they are indestructible to impact damage, unless that has been changed. Last I checked, main thing about the multi-purpose pipes is that they are indestructible to impact damage. You can run into them with a crawdad and you will not break them. Crawdad is also indestructible to impact damage. I have actually tested this. It is still indestructible to impact damage. You can run a crawdad into a moving train head on and the train will stop. And you'll be fine. So next is this. So we have syngas and we have organic solvent. It is not the only rideable creature, no. You have the crawdad, there is the dingrito, and there is the Phaedisus. The dingrito is basically a dingrit. It is a giant wolf, and it is fundamentally the vanilla tank. It has the tank mechanics on the dingrito. The turn radius sucks, but it is faster. It moves really quickly, really difficult to turn. The Phaedisus flies. It flies, so it goes directly over all collidables, and you don't have to worry about anything when on the Phaedisus. So yeah, that's a thing. There's our industrial level solvent. We have done that thing. Next, I will make the Zogna. That will require logs. Meow. Hello, Ollie. Ollie's rubbing my legs. He's down under the desk, rubbing my legs. Bring me the logs. Bring me those logs. They're better than bad, they're good. Unstack. How does Train Supply Manager work? I have a video where I review how I use Train Supply Manager. It is among my videos of my tutorial videos. I have one specifically about Train Supply Manager. I do an okay job with explaining it, but basically you have the requester station, you have a lamp that needs to be placed within a specific radius of that requester station, and basically that's all you need. If you click on the lamp, it brings up this screen with a priority schema. Your stations, your supplying stations, what I call depots, you define with arbitrary resource and IDs to whatever station sets you want them to be for your depots. You match that on your requests to whatever you've defined, and it will request trains from those stations that are set in this list. However, it will do so infinitely, so in order to have some control, you can hook up that lamp to combinators, as well as connect to this little train counter here to count how many trains are currently on their way. And the way that I have this set up is that we look at the current contents of our storage, our local buffer, whatever it is. We divide that by a value. In this case, it's being divided by 1,000. And that's outputting a value of X. And then we're taking whatever constant we want for the total number of trains coming to this station at any one time is what I have set for this input, and we subtract the value of X. And we subtract from the value of X. So we will have, in this station, at least 3 times 1,000 units of stuff before a train gets requested again. And only up to 3 trains max will come, because we're going to then compare that on the light with the number of trains that are on the way. We're going to say that our light is only going to be on if there are fewer trains that are on the way than this value of P. At which point we will stop. When there are 3 trains that are on the way, 3 will equal P in the worst case, and therefore this would turn off and not bring in any more trains than 3 at a time. And then it will proceed to only really request 1 at a time, depending on how fast you're pulling from this. But at most 3. So this serves to control how many trains can go to any specific station at any one time, as well as how much gets stored as a buffer in your boxes. So I could increase this value to tell them to bring more stuff in. Just know that it's going to be however many trains times this value. So 3,000 here, but if I increased it up to 2,000 on this number, then it would go to 6,000. And then 9,000 if I set it to 3,000. Meow. Mr. Cat. Mr. Cat meowing. What happened to Mrs. Cat? What happened to the Mrs. Cat? Where did she go? Where did she hang out? Move off to? You. That. I need this. Here. Hello, Ollie. Hello, big boy. Your tail just hit my face. Or at least hit the side of my head. Hi. Oh yeah, this is productive. I need productivity that. Duh. Productivity that. Hey, you. What are you doing? What are you doing? Ollie? Ollie? You're in the way. Ahem. Ollie. Ollie? You're in the way of the screen. Why are you sitting here? Why are you sitting here? Why are you pushing my buttons? Don't push the buttons! Da-ba. Da baby. Da baby. What are you doing? What are you doing here? What is he doing? He's big. He's big. He's big, by the way. He's big. Why are you sitting here? Ah, you're rolling. You're rolling. Ba-ba. Da-ba. Ba-ba. Yes, bite. So, we have a problem. We have a bit of a problem. Could you not? We'll put that back, and we will move the kitty. We'll move the kitty. Come on. There's the kitty. There he goes. Okay, well, ahem. That's the thing. He does not usually do that. Lamps and petri dishes. Lamps plus petri dishes. Let me get that there, I guess. You didn't know that Ollie had the capacity to sit on the chair behind me? Yeah, he does occasionally. He does that. He can do that. He can. I need like a standardized spacing. That's better. So, as a reminder, since we are in the last hour of this stream, starting today, I have decided that if during a stream we get at least 10 US dollars of support through any means during the stream, I will stream for an extra hour. And this will apply for each stream, every stream, going forward. I just want to point that out right now. If anyone is interested in throwing their support. Am I stacking these? I know I'm not stacking the lamps. I don't think I'm stacking petri dishes. Yeah, completely optional. Don't have to do it. But I figured, you know what? I want to try to incentivize some support going forward, and best way I can do so is by offering more stream time. Hello? Paste? Okay, so Ollie apparently hit some sort of a button combination that cleared my clipboard. There we go. No petri dishes, alright, fine. And lamps, there we go. So I know that lamps are not stacked. I just wanted to see this just to make sure that these are not. Yeah, being a little bit of a pain. Yeah, he's being a little bit of a pain. Yeah. Teeth? Hey. Ba. Ba. Hey, you. Ba ba. Yeah, yeah. Grabbing. Hey. Be good boy. Be good boy. You grabbing. You're full of energy. You got some energy. You want to play. You think I'm a kitty. You wants to play with me like a kitty. Anyway, are you here yet? Are you coming? You on your way? Yes, you are on your way. And you are not stacked. Okay, that is that part. Next. What shall we do? Next, we shall B-type molasses. The hell uses B-type molasses in here? What in the world is using B-type molasses? Oh, you. Ethanol. Right, okay, so I guess we're making ethanol. That from Tufra. This building does not allow for... it does not allow for productivity modules, unfortunately. I thought it was a building level limitation, but this thing is telling me that it's a recipe limitation in this case. So that might have been changed. I do have a mod, by the way. On the mod portal. I made it. It's mine. I take full claim to it. Called Productive Pyanodons. I have not updated it for Pi Alternative Energy, but it's there. It makes a whole bunch of recipes that don't take productivity and makes them take productivity. It also has several recipes that I want to be sure continue to take productivity that do currently take productivity on there, just in case they decide that, hey, we don't want these recipes being productive anymore. Yeah, I've already prepared on several of those recipes. And I also changed some building requirements to allow for productivity on specific buildings that had strange limitations. So this is going to request Tufra nuclear samples. I'm not using it in this playthrough, just so we're clear. I have not used it in playthroughs for a while. Alright, so that's bringing the Tufra. The next thing I will need is the filtration media. And then I will need Faugi. And then I need the uranium ore stuff with dust and sulfuric, but we'll do that afterwards. Oh yeah, you're an advanced train. I forgot about that. Filtration and Faugi. I probably should make this Faugi like locally, because it's only 27, or 0.27, excuse me. It is not much. I do need to put down a boiler. I can remember remember where they are on my list. Boilers, hello. I can just load right into that boiler. Throw that down and throw down a gas vent hooked right up to it. Voila. Filter. You. Making that. I only need the one, pretty sure. And you need filtration media in. When should you make a fully fledged train network? When you have trains. I made it the moment that I had trains. And it took a while. Don't remember if you're stacked. You are not. You are full. Hate when that happens. Go. Get it. You can see his tiger stripes? Yeah, you can. He does have stripes. In case you are not aware. Yes, Ollie absolutely has stripes, and once you see them, you cannot unsee them. He is a tabby. He has tabby stripes. They're just very difficult to see because it's dark gray on gray. Yes, I will have to replace the trains each time I upgrade them. That is 100% accurate. And I will most likely do so as well. That will likely be something I do. There you go. That should be that. Input the Faugi. There, and that should be that. Yeah, so it's going to be awkward going into the next lit powered trains. Little bit awkward because I'll be switching essentially back to having a 2-wagon 1-train system, since the basic next lit trains have standard sized wagons that hold twice as much. So I don't get a real... Do I get a real capacity bonus? Hold on. Nextlit. Oh, these have 80, so it will double the capacity of the trains again over what I currently have. What I currently have is effectively 2 by 40. It's really 4 by 20, but I go from 4 by 20 to 2 by 80. and I would go from 4 by 25 to 2 by 75 on the fluid wagons, which is actually only 50% more. But they weigh less, and the floating locomotive has, I believe, a better balanced acceleration for its lower weight. I think it's like technically lower than before, but it like weighs nothing. So yeah, it's balanced around that. It accelerates very quickly, very, very quickly with its wagons, and it runs off of batteries that you can recharge with next-lit plates in particle accelerators. So once you've made the batteries, you just recharge them. The only thing is that this is very similar to the current situation where I'm a little bit worried that if I have too many items going to any specific train station, I can see a potentiality where I could be completely backed up on the sheer volume of items in here. There is a potential for that. I may have to increase the buffer capacity on everything, but this would not be an issue if I have enough of a buffer, a sufficiently large buffer capacity. It will not be an issue because there will be a very specific set number of fuel items in the system that, yes, will increase over time as I increase the number of trains, but it is a very set number, and as long as the buffers at every location can fit at least that amount total of all trains, there will never be an issue. It's just I fear that it will be an issue in the current state. Okay, so I needed to unstack these Faugi, and I did not do so. Now I am doing so. Right on time, actually, for the B-type molasses to exist. Getting our filtration media going here. So that's nice. And that is ethanol. Ethanol going. Next, we get to process some uranium. Glorious and beautiful uranium. We get to do six steps here. I need to have these leaching stations. I have not made leaching stations yet, so let's go and make some of those. Yes, let us make some leaching stations at the mall. I don't think I'm making them. Let's see here. Am I making leaching stations? I don't see any on this list of these icons. I don't see these in these icons. By the way, I can improve the performance of the game by turning off the icons. Sorta. You can see it's 30 frames when fully zoomed out, if I put the icons back on, we go down to 23.6. We lose a little bit more than 6 frames just off of recipe icons. And then the worker robots is somewhat negligible compared to the sheer number of icons for the recipes, but I need to see the recipes. That's necessary. I need to see them. It's just, again, the game is not designed around that being a feature that exists available to all people. Despite them making it available to all people, that used to be just a testing setting, but now it's available to everyone easily. Yeah, I do not have leaching stations, apparently. That used to be a setting that was hidden among this shenaniganery under debug settings, like showing the FPS and the clock and the debug info on the tooltips. The clock is my local time. BTW. I have walked way too far. I need the leaching. Leaching! Bring me stuff. Where's the leaching? We need 2. We need 2 leaching stations. Glorious leaching stations. So if you could do that for me, game, that'd be fantastic. Can I steal things? I can steal circuits. Do you take pipe? You take pipe. I don't know anything here that's pipe. You have small parts. I can give you the small parts. And I can give you the steel. Intermetallics. Yeah, I can give you that. DDCs. That'll be a little bit more difficult to give you. Find pipe. Iron pipe. There you go. Enjoy your iron pipe. Now we just need to get the DDCs and the 50k tank brought over. Bots should be doing this for me. It really did not save any time through that, because it's just going to still take the same amount of time. I should have DDCs on me. I should have a few of those. It's just that stupid 50k tank. You, right? Go. Build. Gib things. Need 2. 1. 2. Thanks. On our way. Heading back. Alright, so for this, we're going to need to bring in uranium ore, as well as sulfuric acid. I need radar coverage, please. And that's not quite it. I will need the iron ore dust. The next item is the aluminium, followed by sodium hydroxide, followed by antimony oxide, and phosphoric acid, followed by hydrogen peroxide, followed by aromatics. Oh, I didn't break down the boric, I will need to bring in borax for the boric acid, and I will need to bring in the automation science. And that should be 21 stations. Yep, that is 21 stations, and that is all of it. That is everything. Huzzah. So it's a fairly good-sized build here, but nothing that's unreasonable. I should have done this in different factories, such as a factory producing simply yellow coke, or yellow cake, excuse me. Just a separate yellow cake factory. But I'm okay with this as it is right now. I will need yellow cake separate in blue science. Within blue science, I will need it separate, but for now, we are going to leave this as is. I will be throwing uranium that way. I will need to void the byproducts. Uranium ore is not stacked. I am pretty sure. I am nearly certain, yep. My uranium ore is not stacked. This was sulfuric. Really? I guess I need another train on sulfuric. Okay. Alright. Stone. Right. Uranium. Grade 2. Right. You up a bit. You gear up in. Out, over, filter, gravel. To the right. Stack. Up. You. Up. You. Grade 2 into powdered. Down. You produce sand. To the right. Stacked. Up. You powdered uranium with steam and sulfuric. I have to move all of this up a bit so I can do steam. Glorious steam. Apparently only need 1 steam. Somehow, for whatever reason, only 1 thingy on steam. It's fine. Still no Spheric, huh? That is basically that. I just need to get rid of the byproducts. Okay, solid fuel, solid fuel. Where are my logs? You've got to come up. Yeah, it's fine. That'll work. Shouldn't use the logs. Should use the wood because of productivity. But I don't care. So there. Next, you. Ta-da. That. There. You. Iron dust. Still off a tile. There. Iron ore dust. Come on down. Come on down. With that iron ore dust. Next. That makes yellow cake. Glorious. Next, we do this. Oh god. I will... That's still in, apparently. So, in case you are not aware, the particle accelerator does not allow for efficiency modules. It does not remove them from the allowed list of modules because of a bug with the vanilla game, whereby if you remove efficiency modules from the list of allowed modules in a building, what you ultimately do is remove all modules from allowed modules for that building. It will not allow anything in if it does not allow efficiency. I don't know why. That is just the vanilla behavior of the game. For whatever reason, it just does not. It does not allow removing that entry without removing everything else in the process of removing that entry. It's stupid. All right, well, this makes 2 isotopes. What am I producing in excess of this in this process? We've got excess uranium-238. So when I filter the uranium, 238, 8. I will have to overflow void, basically. I don't think I can stack any of this, so whatever, it's fine. All of this will end up down here eventually. And get voided. All of the excess shenaniganery. So both of these go into an assembling machine. Ahem. I know it's stupid, but we'll do this. I has my reasons. Not request aluminium. Aluminium is stacked. That was off on its positioning. Okay, next solid is sodium hydroxide, followed by antimony. Antimony? Antimony. Antimony. That's the one. That's the one I'm looking for. And phosphoric acid. And methanol. Excuse me, hydrogen peroxide. And aromatics. And borax. And automation science. And I have to break down the borax. The boric acid to borax step. That's 2 extra steps. 3, because I need the hydrogen. Just tack it onto the list when I get to it. So this is making fuel cells. Yeah, it's fine. Why are you not moving? Oh, that would help. That would help a lot. This should be a productive step, but it's not. Would be a little bit difficult, but whatever. This is definitely needs to be productive, at least. And it is, fortunately. Next, I need to do that. And I need to use an inserter on it to pull out the used stuff. This takes antimatter. Okay, interesting. It's only a 10% chance of a U-235. Oh boy. Oh joy. Oh bliss. How's that power doing? Gigawatt per particle accelerator, BDW. Full gigawatt. I just failed that 90% U-238. It failed, and I got nothing at all. Because that's how the percentage-based outputs apply in PyAE's mods. These are calculated separately So there is a chance that you get nothing. There's a chance you get both. And there is a chance that you could get one or the other. Like, we could get just U-235 on a cycle. That is perfectly valid to get just U-235, as one would generally expect for something like this. We could get, most likely, both a 235 and a 238 whenever we get a 235. It's actually more likely for that to happen than anything else. See, that just happened. We got 235 and 238 in the same cycle. We could fail both, as we've done already, as well. So, yeah. And we can, of course, fail the 235 and succeed on the 238. Yep, each one is individually. They do not need to add up to 100%. Just because it adds up to 100% does not mean that that's how the game needs it to be. That is that. Next is this. Oh, hey, it's our good friend, the sulfuric acid, yet again. Whoa, that cycled quickly. That got used fast. Four gigajoules of power, and this thing uses 2 gigawatts. Oh, it uses 10. Oh, it uses 10 per building. I see. So it's a very fast production of used up cells. Well, that is fine, I guess. I'm gonna have to move this, though, up higher. And meet up with sodium hydroxide and switch out what I'm using. And do that, and do this. Oh my god, it's almost time to end the stream! I guess we'll just get to the end. So I guess we will not make chemical science today. Yes, chem science is not on the agenda. Oh well. I will finish the nuclear samples. I'm not gonna, like, leave you out to dry for the nuclear samples, but, we will at least hit our goal for the day. What is this? Antimony oxide. Sodium hydroxide. Okay, that should be that. This makes a solid and a fluid. The fluid I don't think I'm doing anything with, so the fluid gets dumped. This antimony phosphate one, pretty sure is not used. Two of these need efficiency modules. Anytime there's a centrifuge. hydrogen peroxide. Aromatics. Borax. And automation. Science. This takes in the antimony phosphate. Makes plutonium peroxide and antimony phosphate 2. We are not using the antimony phosphate 2. So that gets deleted. For now. This evaporator is going to take in methanol. It's going to take in our good friend methanol from way down here. I hope this is the line I can draw. It looks like it. There's the methanol plus plutonium peroxide to make the plutonium oxide. This will then go into two particle accelerators. Two glorious particle accelerators. Then, before I get into the final step, I need to do this. I've sort of stopped caring now about the belt spacing. Oops. Why no aromatics? Why you know aromatics? I know I have lots. Come on, game. Alright, that's gonna make the boric acid, and then we mix. We mix, and we need to add automation science plus plutonium-238. Plutonium-238. Oh boy. Oh boy. So, the outputs from this, we need to filter 238 plutonium. That's all gonna go up here. And the nuclear samples come out that way. Oh God. Well, we are now producing the plutonium peroxide. We have a cycle that makes 100. This needs 100. That means it's not going to start it immediately until I get another 4 antimony phosphate, because it'll be like 0.1 off. It'll be 99.9. Don't you just love pipe mechanics? Oh, but hey, they are in fact moving. We got another cycle of the phosphate, so now the moment that these finish cycling, this will cycle, giving us 10 plutonium oxide. That will be 2 cycles worth of this, which will give us a, 2 consecutive 2% chances to get 15 plutonium-238. The rest get deleted from the face of existence. I need to run a belt that will involve this deletion from the face of existence of all the other things. I'm probably gonna regret that, but you know what? I'm doing it anyway. We have failed to produce 238 uranium. Oh well. We don't need much. Just need a little. And I need to hook up the stuff here. Just figure out what line is free to draw this pipeline. Clearly not you. Okay. That's fine. And I have to hook up this pipe. Alright, that's all of the fluids. We need the automation science, which is not stacked. And then just some 238, a successful U-238 would work for me wonderfully. And have to get this onto a train, and then we are done with nuclear samples. So, since we have not succeeded, we have not had support today, sufficient support today, we will not be streaming for an extra hour. If I were to have streamed for the extra hour, I would have gone and made chemical science. So I will not be making chemical science on this day until Tuesday of next week. In the meantime, I will be preparing to set up the VatBrain biocomputing. I will be scaling things that I need to scale to prepare for my chemical science world that I will be in. So yeah, that'll just have to be how it is. I will finish this factory though, make sure that we've finished it off appropriately. And set up a train and all that good stuff. Set up the station priority list as well. You know what? I should align myself. I should be aligned with these. At least down here. Okay, locomotive, go. Limit to 1 stack. Supply nuclear samples. Depot nuclear samples. Nuclear samples. SD, full cargo, circuit condition. Oh, that said R uranium. S, nuclear samples, go. Full cargo. That's the one. That's the one. Define. The nuclear samples. Save. And are we making any? I need a radar coverage up here. We have not. We still have not successfully gotten the correct plutonium type out of this. Unfortunate, but, you know, it happens. We have, however, built the factory. It is moving. It will successfully move when this succeeds. It's like 2% chance of success. Anytime it succeeds, the 2% chance of success. Whenever that happens. Theoretically, I could use this other stuff to make something eventually, but for now, it's just going to get deleted. So yeah, that's where we're ending things off, I suppose, for the day today. We have made nuclear samples. We made electric engine units, and we have made nuclear samples, which means at any time, I can set up the chem science factory. Between streams, I am not going to set up the chem science factory, even though I would really like to have robot speed 2 right now, and all that good stuff. No, instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare for the vat-brain biocomputing of chemical science. I'm going to prepare by scaling my production of stuff. I'm going to be replacing, ideally, the rest of my trains with the advanced locomotives. I've still got a couple hundred more of those, at least, to replace. Yeah, just general scaling. I don't think I don't want to do anything new. Not going to set up the vat-brain stuff, but we're going to prepare to set up the vat-brain stuff next time. I'm not going to make the Mark II power production stuff, because in order to do that, I will need new Nexlit batteries, and I'll need this vinyl acetate as well, both of which are new things that we haven't made before. So we have EVA and Nexlit batteries. Those are the only two things holding me back from getting into Mark II coal power plant stuff. I think that's the only thing. Unless I also need mechanical part 2s for like the heat exchangers, but I haven't really looked at it yet. If I do, then it's also electronics that I would need, electronic 2s, to get mechanical parts. So yeah, next time we meet, I do want to set up the chem science. Like, that's number one top of mind, even before getting Mark II infrastructure for power. And that's what we'll work on. With that, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Show, but if you have enjoyed today's stream, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff down below the video. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you have not yet subscribed, and hit the notification bell. Consider becoming a member of the channel by hitting the great big blue join button and supporting on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushowboat if you are so inclined and able. I will be back on Tuesday to set up our chemical science. I hope to see you all then.